Good morning and welcome to Postgrad Live Discover, Decide, Do, our DMU London webinar series. Thank you for joining us today for this session where we'll be exploring a core theme of our campus identity, carbon literacy and sustainability in higher education and also career development. I'm Meredith, I'm the International Recruitment Manager for DMU London, and I will start with a quick introduction to DMU London, who we are, what we offer, and how we embedded sustainability into everything we do. After that, I will be handing over to our academic speaker, who will guide you through our live taster session on carbon literacy. Now let's begin with a look of the full series scheduled. So we have a full list of series throughout the week, and we're now halfway through the week. We already explored Global MBA and our Edge Employability offer, and also our IB with Sustainability Management. And we got 2 more exciting sessions coming up. And if you haven't registered yet for the rest of the series, you can still do that at dmu.ac.uk/London. Now let's talk about DMU London. So DMU has more than 150 years of academic history, and in September 2025, we're opening the door to DMU London, our brand new campus in Zone 1, Whitechapel. It's designed with a strong focus on postgraduate students and career development and also sustainability, offering exceptional access to industry and central London. And here is a tube map of London, and as you can see, here is our campus. Our campus is in between Aldgate East and also Whitechapel. The closest station will be Aldgate East, and the student can walk to the tube station from our campus within 6 minutes on foot. And from that tube station, we can get to central London. We're talking about King's Cross here, so within half an hour. And with the Elizabeth line, we can get to the Heathrow Airport within 1 hour and vice versa. So why DMU London? So our approach at DMU London is built around 3 properties: a focused teaching module, 1 module at a time, compressed on-campus activity, embedded industry experience through real-life projects, insight visit and mentoring, a curriculum underpinned by sustainability and also responsible leadership, and personalized support with career, visa, student success. It's a postgraduate experience built to help you make impact fast. So your London advantage. We're located in one of London's most dynamic commercial zone. Our Whitechapel site puts you in close proximity to major employers like TikTok, Amazon, and also our student can benefit from teaching shaped by real-world challenges, access to 400 alumni mentors, and also membership of the Institute of Directors, which means you will explore a professional network as you learn. And also, sustainability isn't an option extra at DMU London. It's built into how you learn. And also the employability. In every program, it includes live business project and stimulations, career coaching and one-to-one development, digital tools like Target Connect and Body Swap usage, and also carbon literacy training that helps our graduates with not just technical skills, but also ethical leadership awareness. So today's session is all about carbon literacy training taster later, and Dr. Andrew Rees will lead you take a closer look of carbon literacy. And here are the programs we offered at DMU London. We're offering 3 career-focused master programs: Global MBA with Responsible Leadership, MSc International Business and Sustainability Management, and also Responsible Data Analytics. All 3 programs are designed to give you the tools to lead with purpose, through our block teaching module, real-life projects, and also applied sustainability. And here are the fees and fundings. We know that funding is important, and here's how we help. As you can see on the table, we got a list of the programs, and we got the tuition fee, and we have a base scholarship and a full payment discount. Then you pay this amount. So for the scholarship wise, we offer £3,500 scholarship for global MBA and £3,000 for the 2 MSCs. That's the base scholarship. And if you pay in full, you will have an extra of £500 tuition fee discount for full payment. This is a base scholarship structure, and also we're putting a Sustainability Ambassador Scholarship for DMU London for this intake. If you are interested in sustainability and if you want to make an impact on it, you can apply for it. And we offer 6 positions offering 50% tuition fee discount. And for more information about that, please click the link in the comment box, and it will lead you through the scholarship page at DMU London website. And also for DMU alumni, you are eligible for 20% discount for your postgraduate tuition. Now let's go through the process of how your journey would be like to DMU London from application to arrival. There will be only 6 simple steps. So first, you apply via either our DMU portal or you apply via agent. Then you will receive your conditional or unconditional offer. If you receive the conditional offer, you will need to meet the conditions by submitting relative documents, and you will get the unconditional offer once you meet the conditions. Then, if required, you will need to complete a credibility assessment. And if you pass the assessment, you pay 50% tuition fee to receive your CAS. And once you receive your CAS, you can start to apply for your UK student visa. And once you get the visa, you're ready on board, then you can register online and prepare for the enrollment. If you got any questions throughout this process, please let us know by contacting us via the register your interest button on our webpage, or also email inquiry@dmu.ac.uk. We'll be happy to support you. Now let's dive into carbon literacy. So first, let's watch a video.
The world is changing, and so is business. Today's global challenges, from rising energy demands to environmental crises, require leaders who can balance technology, profitability, and sustainability. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's essential for future business success. As industries around the world adapt to new challenges, the demand for sustainability-driven professionals is growing. By 2030, the growing reliance on AI and big data will drive a 160% increase in energy consumption. As businesses adopt these technologies to boost efficiency and innovation, it becomes crucial to prioritize energy-saving strategies. The integration of advanced technologies with sustainable solutions will be essential for leaders aiming to balance progress with environmental responsibility. Sustainability fuels innovation. Companies are transforming their business models by integrating sustainability into every aspect of their operations, ensuring it's a core element of their corporate strategy and impact. It's not just about reducing environmental impact. Sustainability is shaping the future of business strategy, from AI and automation to ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is the future. Sustainability, ESG goals, and corporate social responsibility are becoming key drivers across industries. Graduates with expertise in these principles are being sought after by top employers worldwide. At DMU London, we're not just teaching sustainability, we're embedding it into every aspect of our programs and career development. preparing students to lead ethically and responsibly in a rapidly changing world. In today's job market, sustainability knowledge is more than just an asset. It's a competitive advantage. Employers increasingly choose graduates who understand sustainability and are committed to making a difference. According to a recent survey by THE, 80% of students today consider a university's environmental and ethical performance when choosing where to study. At DMU London, we equip you with the skills to lead the transformation towards a sustainable future. Gain expertise in high-demand areas like sustainable business practices, responsible AI integration, and innovative leadership. Skills that are shaping the industries of tomorrow. DMU's commitment to sustainability is underscored by our recent appointment as the Global Academic Impact Hub for SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, by the UN. At DMU London, you'll tackle global sustainability challenges, gaining the skills to lead in sustainable urban development and green business innovation. And the opportunities don't stop when you graduate. Our strong industry connections with leaders in tech, finance, consulting and sustainability ensure you're ready to take on high-impact roles right from day one. With lifelong career support through DMU for Life, you'll continue to grow and adapt in a job market increasingly focused on net zero commitments and ethical innovation. At DMU London, sustainability isn't just a course, it's a mindset. Join us to become part of a community driving lasting change for society and for the planet. Graduate ready to lead, innovate responsibly, and shape a more sustainable, ethical future. Ready to unlock your potential and drive positive change? Apply now and start your journey at DMU London.
Now, I'm pleased to hand over to Dr. Andrew Reeves, our Academic Lead Education for Sustainable Development, who will walk through a taster session in carbon literacy and show how sustainability becomes a practical, career-ready skill at DMU London. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Can you hear me okay?
Thanks, Meredith. And hi, folks. I hope you can hear me okay. Meredith was breaking up. So hopefully I'll speak and hopefully you can hear me. So yeah, so my role at De Montfort is all about how we educate in relation to sustainable development across the whole university. This has been a commitment we've had for many years. I've been working on this for 8 years at De Montfort. I also do work with businesses, local government, voluntary sector organisations about how they embed sustainability in their practices, which we might come to as the session goes on. But what I want to offer you here is just a little taster of how this is reflected in how you'll learn, and also a unique aspect of that for DMU London, which is our embedded carbon literacy training. So let me just advance to the next slide. So Simon's video touched upon this, but it really is genuinely a key commitment for us to think about sustainability across everything that we do at De Montfort. So as Simon mentioned, we're a global United Nations hub for SDG 11, the only such hub in the UK. In the last UK rankings of universities on action on sustainability, we're ranked #2 overall in the People and Planet League. There's an event where you can take part to embed sustainability in the Sustainable Development Goals in teaching. We were the #1 UK university for staff participation students reached earlier this year. We're accredited every 2 years for our engagement with sustainability education through a scheme called Responsible Futures, where we are audited by our own students who, through a structured process, check how we're doing this and produce a report for us on how we're doing and give us ideas on how to improve. And we've been successfully audited every 2 years for the last 6 years it is now. So this gives you the context, and this is a key focus for how we've developed DMU London as a concept and for how we're going to tackle your teaching and learning. So I'm going to link this a little bit to your future career and the future of careers in general. This is a quote from a UK government publication from our Department for Education about green jobs, saying that this won't be a niche thing, that this is going to touch every single career, you know, and in a sense we can think that all jobs will be or could be green jobs. So it's not just like in the photo being a wind farm engineer. By all means do that, but whatever you're doing, we need to think about how we're treating the planet, how we're being fair to other people, how we've got an economic model that can last over generations without draining the Earth's resources. So this is key. It was also key in terms of skills. And again, when we think about sustainability and skills, what we talk about are the cross-cutting skills that you can apply in almost any area. So this is an image from the World Economic Forum, from a report done this very year, where they talk about the green transition as a key driver for the future economy. And I'll just pick out a few of the cross-cutting skills in the top section, which are the ones they highlight as being more and more important in the future. So we've got things like resilience, flexibility, thinking creatively, environmental stewardship, a culture of lifelong learning. Now, these are all the core competencies for work on sustainability. The topic knowledge will depend upon your field, whether you're an engineer, you're in business, healthcare, design, whatever. But those cross-cutting skills are vital. We've embedded these through our design of graduate attributes, through our embedding of sustainability competencies. So this is part of how we've designed our courses. And so it's really good to see what we're doing reflected in this influential report from the World Economic Forum. So that's about how this is reflected in your whole program. To give you a taste of that, we're going to talk to you a little bit about carbon literacy training, which will be a part of what happens when you study. So what is carbon literacy training? So you might imagine through the name carbon, this is about climate change and the impacts of climate change, because carbon dioxide is the main greenhouse gas that fuels climate change. So carbon literacy you could define as the awareness of the carbon costs and impacts of everyday activities, the ability, motivation to reduce emissions on an individual, community and organizational basis. And it's not just learning facts, and the same is true of our education on sustainability. It's being motivated and empowered to make a difference through learning skills and competencies to do so, and having a mindset of trying to do so. So carbon literacy training is a one-day piece of learning that's embedded within your program. And so you get that basic understanding of what is climate change, what's driving this, and what can I do about it. And it's also an accredited standard. So it's an extra accreditation that you get through studying within DMU London. You complete a short form after doing the training. You make a pledge of something you're going to do individually, but also as part of a collective. So maybe within DMU London, or if you've got a job outside that, maybe at work, whatever it may be. You make a pledge, and those things mean you get accredited. It's also an accreditation that applies to organisations. So you re-accredit every 3 years. So DMU has been accredited twice as carbon literate. We're one of the main UK universities really pushing this training. And we don't only do it for our own staff and students, we also do it in the wider community. So the thing I've been directly involved with is providing this training in support for local government, businesses, schools, voluntary sector bodies, business advisors within the local area. I might come back to that in the Q&A, because this is very relevant for the transition to sustainability and towards net zero in the wider economy. So it's really good for you that you'll be learning this as part of your program. Now, I promised you a taster, and one of the ways we do this is through very active learning. It's not a grim day of awful facts when you do carbon literacy training. Those awful facts are there, but also it's engaging and interactive and group-based as well, because that's so important for staying well and motivated when we learn about sustainability. So I'm going to give you a taster. So we've got a little quiz. Now, I encourage you to respond by offering A, B, C, D in the chat. If I don't get responses, that's fine. I appreciate it's a quick fire. I'll offer the answers afterwards, but do take part if you wish. This is a taster of the sort of quiz we do within carbon literacy. So one thing we talk about in carbon literacy is the science of climate change. Here's a question around that. When was the warming effect of carbon dioxide on the atmosphere first calculated? Actually, they did sums by a researcher. So was it A, in 1896, B, 1946, C, 1976, or D, 1996? I'll pause for a moment to let you think, and if anyone's going to throw a comment in the chat, I'll receive it. Okay, so I'll reveal the answer to this one. So the answer to this one is 1896. Now, you may be surprised. You might think climate change is a relatively new thing. The core science has been around for a very long time. So this was done by a Swedish researcher called Arrhenius. The actual warming effect of gases like carbon dioxide was first observed scientifically in the 1850s by a sadly overlooked female scientist called Eunice Foote. So this core science is old, you know, the measurement of the warming, and then more recently, sadly, the observations of all the impacts of a changing climate are more recent, but this is old science. So there we go, that's something around the science. Another core dimension around climate change is understanding some of the justice and fairness implications. So here's a question on that. So if emissions are attributed to individuals, the richest 10% of people across the globe are responsible for what percentage of total carbon emissions? So this is where at a national level, you sort of divide what's happening in that country up amongst the people in that country and think about the relative wealth of the people in that country. Anyway, is it 10%, 24%, 49%, or 99%? Again, I'll pause, let you have a little guess in your head. And the answer for this one is 49%. This is based on research by the international NGO Oxfam. And again, I mean, perhaps you're not surprised, perhaps you are, but you know, it is quite jarring that such a high proportion of global emissions are caused by people and countries that are relatively affluent. So there's a real justice dimension when we talk about climate change, both historically about the causes of emissions, but also what we do about it and who needs to change. Key thing for countries like ourselves, of course, in the UK. One more question for you. This is about lifestyle change, which isn't the only aspect of action on climate change, but it is a relevant one. In which area of life could you, and this is assuming you're an average UK citizen, could you potentially significantly reduce your carbon footprint? By that I mean by over a ton a year. The average footprint in the UK is about 8-9 tons a year, depends how you count. So could that be about how you travel? Could be about your food choices, about how you use energy at home, or about stuff you buy, which could make a really, really big difference. And it's within your choice potentially to do that. Okay, I'll press the button to reveal the answers. And nothing has changed. That's deliberate. It's a slight trick question. On average, all of these things are within your gift to change significantly. So if you have a couple of long haul flights in a year, that could easily be over a ton of emissions. If you have a very carbon intensive diet, a lot of red meat, for example, which leads to deforestation and other issues, a change to a much more plant-based diet could greatly reduce your food footprint. For many homes, if you can insulate, switch to renewable energy, you could really reduce your home footprint. In terms of consumption, like something like a new laptop could be hundreds of kilograms of CO2. So a lot of tech, never mind a new car, would be over a ton over a year. So a lot of choices within our gift have very high impacts. And of course, there's a huge role to play of influencing wider systems through advocacy, organizational change and more, but there is stuff within your own gift to change as well. There we go. That was just a little taster of the kind of interactive learning we aim for. Just for me to wrap up, this was a taster of both carbon literacy, but also your program experience. So we have a big commitment to active learning, to inclusive learning, so everyone can take part and no one is left out in terms of how we teach. As you've heard, we design towards future employability and a positive experience for our students. And what this session is focused on is we're really committed to equipping our graduates to making a positive difference to society by addressing sustainable development issues. If you want to reach out to me around this after the session, arees@dmu.ac.uk, feel free to ask me questions about this if they don't come up right now. But there we go, a little taste of sustainability and carbon literacy at De Montfort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. That's a fantastic insight into how we approach sustainability in practice. Well, we now have some time for a few questions. If you're curious about how carbon literacy fit in your degree or how it connects to career path, feel free to drop your question in the comment box. Oh, I can see there is a questions regarding the credit hour of IB in Sustainability Management, MSc. So I'm not sure what you're looking for. So for credit-wise, we offer, so it's a 12-month full-time program. You will have 6 modules throughout the program and each weight 30 credits. And for contacting hour, it will usually be 2 hours of lectures 6-hour workshops, and also 2 hours for online activity each week. I hope that answers your question. If you have further questions, just let us know. And Andrew, while we wait, I got a few questions from the student before the session. Would you mind answer them?
Yeah, fire away.
All right. So you mentioned carbon literacy supports both individuals and also organizational actions. How the student apply these concepts into real-world projects or career setting?
Yeah, so I mean that's highly relevant. I think the video from Simon touched upon this. So the thing I've experienced over the last few years is a lot of organisations beyond the university reaching out to me for this kind of support. So to specify a few, I've worked with the Royal Society in the UK, kind of big research funder and a large organisation in its own right. Local councils in the Leicester area. Business advisors, our local enterprise partnership, so they've got a remit to support economic development, and they do educational, outreach to schools, so kind of major infrastructure projects. That's a big thing for them. All of them, they want to understand these issues and how it affects their practice. And for seeding change in an organization, getting a team of staff to do carbon literacy or similar training means you get everyone on the same page, everyone bought in and able to understand what to do in their particular teams, and then take actions forward. Whatever those actions may be, of course, will depend on the organization. So just to give 2 examples, Royal Society is a research funder. For them, it's about criteria in funding bids. It's about how they manage their operations to be more efficient with IT, to limit travel only when it's absolutely necessary, etc. For our local enterprise partnership and infrastructure, an example for them might be they were supporting the new bus station in Leicester, which was a zero carbon bus station essentially. So they demolished the old one and built a new one, but they reused the core structure to reduce the embodied emissions from energy use. They made a roof that was suitable for solar panels and covered it in solar panels, so the building generates more energy than it uses. So essentially, they took that learning for that world infrastructure project and made it a big selling point for that project. So it's relevant for any business, any organization, and you'll be a step ahead having done this during your master's studies, I think.
Thank you so much. And also you mentioned carbon footprint as a key part of carbon literacy. Is there any tools or calculator you could share that the student can learn how much?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, if you're curious, yeah. So, I mean, we could probably pop it up on the screen, but there's one from the WWF that's really good for this. It's more geared up towards people who are already living in the UK, but it will show you the main issues to think about. What's interesting about climate compared to many other issues is, you can literally calculate your direct impact, in a numerical way. Most issues you can't do that. What is my link to, I don't know, inequality or homelessness? How do you put a number on that? But with climate, for your direct emissions, you can put a number on it. And that can get you thinking about the changes you might make that have the biggest impact, or the things you want to influence beyond your own direct life, professionally or otherwise, that will be impactful. So yeah, do have a play. It's good. It's a good thing to learn about.
Thank you so much, Andrew. All right, if there's no further questions, so that's a wrap for today's session. Coming up tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., it will be unpacking MSc Responsible Data Analytics. So this session is ideal for anyone who is interested in ethical tech, data decision-making, and also digital leadership. Register now at dmu.ac.uk/London. All right, thanks again for joining today's session. Thank you, Andrew Reed, for joining us today. If you'd like to apply, talk to someone about scholarship, or asking anything about studying at DMU London, here is how to get in touch. All right, so we hope to see you again in our next session or in London this September. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.